absolutely insane turn of events. And in 1 second, I'll show you what's coming to the US very soon. Even your children are going to be tracked. So Netanyahu just came out and said even though they're going to be working towards this hostage release, they will not be removing their military forces from Gaza. And guess what? That's not all. He also deleted his tweet that had to do with the ceasefire, where the President of the United States came out and said, oh, thank you for stopping what you're doing. And then all of a sudden, allegedly, behind me, I don't know what that is, allegedly there's no stopping in sight. Maybe I'm wrong, but I thought there was supposed to be a ceasefire for this whole peace deal. What ceasefire? And we'll get to the UK, the soon-to-be America, in 1 second. So if you live under a rock, you may not know there are uprisings and protests happening all over the earth right now. People are fed up and they're saying it's time to end this now. Guess what? Even in Tel Aviv right now, the same exact kind of stuff is going on. Again, it's now. Now is the time to stop.
Achieved a significant achievement. It is not yet final. We're working full speed, and I hope with the help of God in the coming days, even during the Sukkot holiday, we can announce the return of all the hostages, alive and deceased as one, in one go, with the IDF remaining in the depth of the Gaza Strip in various areas.
Maybe I'm wrong here, but it seems the whole entire earth is ready for this to stop, no? And besides those protests, there are other protests happening around the earth, as well as the United States. Even in Chicago, it's a battleground. There is close to a civil war happening. I mean, a lady was just pewed, yeah, I gotta say it that way, in Chicago earlier by federal agents, having whole clashes between ICE and the other people and the Border Patrol, etc. Besides the obvious reasoning, why else are people acting so strange, all in sync at the same exact time? By the way, have you seen this Schumann frequency? Just as the last few hours has gotten crazy, and it's been crazy all day. If I can remind you real quick, the Schumann frequency picks up frequency. Really, any kind of frequency, not just the Earth's frequency. Now, completely unrelated from frequency or anything at all for that matter, we have plants now coming down with a new sickness where just all the grass and plants are rotting straight out the ground. Crazy, right? Oh, finally, the UK. They are literally arresting 80-year-old men. Yeah, along with tracking unschooled children. What? If I was in the UK, I couldn't even make this a video without them coming to my door. And we're not even talking about the digital ID. These are all things that are going to come to America. How's 2025 for you so far? I'll start by saying I would never, ever harm myself. And don't forget that Washington, D.C. does not work for you. 99% of politicians do not work for you. They work for their own self-interest. And you have no idea just how evil these people really are. These politicians work for whoever is paying them, whoever is putting money in their pockets. Do you think all the donations they receive are reflected? Do you think that we can see all the donations that they actually get? Because I guarantee you we cannot. These are sick, evil, twisted, corrupt people working for themselves to make themselves rich. Meanwhile, everyone they're supposed to represent suffers. They put on these plays and these shows to sit there and divide up the people and try to get their support when they don't give a crap about you. But no, these evil, rich, corrupt people work for their love of money, and they don't care who suffers for it. There's been many people over the decades who have tried to stop this orchestration of power, JFK being one of many, and you see how that ends every time. But even today, there are still people fighting the wickedness that's happening in DC. And they have to come out making public messages saying they would not harm themselves, while the political system grabs all these people and the thousands to smear them at the same time with the same script. Don't y'all get it? These corrupt politicians in Washington, D.C. get rich while the people they're supposed to stand for suffer in poverty, anxiety, and destructive communities, in sickness, and inflation, and every other demonic thing they brought upon this earth. Why? Because this world is in the hands of the wicked, and they don't work for you. They work for their father, the devil. Unrelated, just for fun, I wonder what Massey's talking about right here. Kind of weird. Ray J alleging the Kardashians paid him $5 million to keep him quiet while the Diddler case came out and he only got 5 years. Meanwhile, the whole other situation, the guy that starts with an E, his whole thing is gone. You know it doesn't exist, no evidence of anything bad on that side. But let me ask you this, what are the odds that all this happens at the same exact time and around the same time? Is it possible the world might be waking up to something, so this is just something to catch our eyes? Of course it isn't, don't be silly. So let's start with Ray J. He comes out, gets on Twitch and talks about how the Kardashians paid him $5 million and shows the paperwork to get him to be quiet. To keep quiet about some really dark accusations. What they say is worse than this case right here. Am I the only person who remembers how this went down? Somehow he knew beforehand that they were coming and he was able to instruct his children on what to do with the boxes and all that stuff? What about those videotapes that they had allegedly found inside of his house? It seems like when these big stories hit, all of a sudden all the facts and information's gone. Everyone forgets all about it. Anyways, 5 years. Real quick, I'll let you hear a little bit of what he wants to say.
This shit bothers me every day when I see my daughter and I see my son, and I'm like, yo, I have 1 year left to make sure that they know who their dad really is.
These are his claims.
I defamed you? How? How I defamed you? You just paid me all this money. You didn't mention that, huh? Go back up. You didn't mention that. But you also didn't mention that you were supposed to tell Hulu to take that shit down, bro. These bitches paid me $5 million, bro.
Let me ask you something. Why is it always with these rich people, they always get into the same kind of dilemma? And they all know each other. Anyways, we got the Ray J, we got the diddler, and we got the guy who starts with an E, but apparently he's innocent. And this same trail of accusations goes back decades in the industry. The artist behind me to perform the Super Bowl. The industry is certainly weird, isn't it? But again, why now?